I fell in love with my best friend's wife. Should I tell her and ruin the marriage? Am I the a-hole?
Love is love.
So, a few weeks ago, my friend and I got together for a few beers just to catch up after it was obvious I was avoiding her. What you avoiding, buddy? I hadn't seen both of them in a while, mostly on my part because I felt like I'd become too comfortable with her. She is really damn near perfect. She's kind, empathetic, intelligent. Really, the list could go on for paragraphs. Once I noticed I started to catch feelings.
Sorry, what? Who said that? Oh my, dude. I think the pipes are like, will you hear that?
Guys, he actually got me. Once I noticed that I started to catch feelings, I instantly made a point to never be around her unless my friend was around. She reached out and I always said, ask your husband and I'll schedule with him. I tried hard to make sure that these boundaries were up. I get a message from him a week ago or so that says that she wanted to have a few beers and talk to me about a surprise she needed my help with. The only reason I agreed to meet up was because he messaged me. She asked me why I went MIA and I sort of lied and said that I've been busy. She looked me straight in the eyes and said, I know you're lying.
Called out.
I wasn't sure how to respond, so I didn't.
I feel like OP's a little awkward.
That's the response. Because she was right. She pushed past the silence and asked me to at least start coming back around the house for barbecue Sundays.
Yeah.
I said,
nah.
Maybe.
No, thanks.
Maybe. At the end of the night, she told me that she was sorry that I felt I needed to shield myself from them because of whatever was going on with me. I cannot stop thinking about her, and even after the dozens and dozens of messages she sends me, I never respond. I know that their marriage is falling apart.
Oh.
Now that is a plot twist, but I want my friend to know that I genuinely care about him and want him to be okay. But at the same time, when I close my eyes to sleep at night, her face haunts me.
Yo, simp. Get a fucking grip. Hit the gym.
I met her at the same time at a friend outing as my best friend. We were all friends before anyone dated each other. So yes, I had already formed a friendship with her prior to all of this.
Oh, that makes it even more complicated.
Sense why I know it's not just infatuation. I am 33 now, so it's been about 7 years since I've known her.
Wow, that's a long time.
And 12 since I've known my best friend. Once they became a couple, 3 years into knowing each other, her and I no longer hang out as much, which was my decision because I felt like it was disrespectful to my best friend.
Fair.
My ex-wife and I have been divorced for years, and I am not interested in being the reason why my best friend and his wife divorce after having someone do that to me. I do think OP is putting their best foot forward.
Even though he's a simp.
Even though he's a filthy simp. I feel like there is a special place in hell for homewreckers. I will never let him know, nor would I ever admit it to his face because I value our friendship too much. I don't think I've ever felt too guilty about being emotionally invested in someone, but I am going to let the guilt eat me alive or until my feelings for her die out. Oh, poor OP. This is...
Yeah, tricky situation. It seems like he's handling it correctly, though.
They are both guilty of not treating each other properly, but in the end, I know I'll shove what I feel for her deep down and lock it away. I don't want to stop being friends with him, but at the same time, seeing her in front of me all the time is torture.
Can imagine.
I must have really pissed someone off in my past life for them to have me fall in love with someone but never have a chance.
Oh man, OP.
I'm sorry, OP.
Why are you such a simp?
Even now, as I think about everything, I find myself thinking about her and those tiny things that make her wonderful.
Oh my God. Fucking gross.
But those tiny things aren't for me to admire.
Oh my God.
They're his. I don't know. Maybe I'll just buy a dog or something.
Buy a dog, go to the gym.
And finally, to put into perspective how close our friend group was before the dating and the marriage that followed, each of us basically has spare rooms in each other's houses, like fully stocked with our belongings.
Wow. That's throuple energy for sure.
That's truly. We made the TV show Friends look like they were just acquaintances. We had been there for each other's passings of family members and other loved ones.
That's really cute.
We have seen each other's amazing ups and heartbreaking downs. Small town friends, we are built differently. We have morals and standards that go hand in hand. We have a solid circle of 7 of us. We make a shared Google Docs that get updated weekly to reflect how we are looking for outings, restaurant visits, vacations, and road trips.
Wow, that's sick.
Great idea, actually. It was our little family because most of us have lost a large portion of our own families. That's why this is hard, because I feel like I lost my second family over feelings for someone who is not mine nor will ever be. I don't want her like that. I want the feelings to go away so I can get back to my friends and back to enjoying my barbecue and beer on a Sunday. OP.
Oh, dang, dude.
You're hitting deep. There is a bit of an update here, but you know, what's
Opie's
the
not
question?
the a-hole. Opie's not the a-hole. No, I mean, he can't, he's doing everything he can. But he is a massive simp.
Oh, God.
Not just saying that because I'm going through a breakup. I'm saying it because he's a simp.
Because it's
He's
true.
a simp. He's a simp.
Because it makes him the a-hole.
No.
Well, Sam, there's an update.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, guys, I fucked her.
No.
Just kidding.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it doesn't sound like our simp OP. You wouldn't say that.
So, OP does say, I did attend the barbecue with a lady friend of mine.
Oh,
Okay,
the
maybe-
old lady friend distraction.
The simp energy is maybe shutting off a little bit. Who I've absolutely gotten closer to in recent weeks. It's absolutely nothing serious, but made things go smooth at the barbecue. My friend said he was sorry, and he asked his wife to essentially ask why I was always gone. He figured I was mad at him and wanted to see why. I just reiterated that I was in fact really busy right now. I also don't believe the wife knows. I know some people thought she might, but I don't actually think she does, which is good because me being a rebound option will never happen. Now, I never told him, nor will I ever. Again, I want him and his wife to work out. I know deep down they still love each other. I then informed the group of friends that I took a job 1,900 miles away and would be relocating at the start of March.
Why is he doing that? Come on, dude.
They were all really upset that I kept this from them. They figured something was off when I took myself off the shared Google Sheets. At the end of the day, I have far too much respect and love to my friends to ever act on anything. They could divorce today and I would never act on it. My loyalty is with my best friend. It definitely sucks that it happened this way and that my friends are a little bit confused because I'm taking a job that is not as good a job as the one I have.
OP, what are you doing? This is like so much self-sabotage.
And I have to relocate to a state that is pretty bad, to be honest.
Bro, what are you doing?
Oh, man. But I figured I could use a state that actually has 4 seasons anyways. But now that they think it's solely because of a job offer that I was just dying to have, I feel a lot better. Welp, I guess that's it. Thanks for all the advice and wise words. Poor OP, man. This is entirely too much.
Yeah.
This is entirely. Why?
Dude, the most like masochistic behavior. Wait, is it sadistic? No, masochistic behavior ever, dude. Like he's just fucking like whipping himself the whole time. Like, bro, you don't have to put yourself through all this pain. You don't have to completely cut yourself off from everything.
He just like, he took like a good sentiment and just took it
way too far.
10,000 miles too far, I think.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That sucks. But I think it's all like, it's all his. It's really just his fault. Like he's taking it way too far. I mean, like, is he really just so in love with this girl that he can't be around her? It seems like so much.
And like, I get that they're all like a big friend group, but like I would maybe spend more time with the other friends one-on-one. And then maybe, I don't know, explore some new friends as well, just to not be so dependent on the circle. I guess. I don't know.
Or just hang out with them all in a group and just like spend less time with the wife.
I totally agree. But I mean, it seems like any sort of
interaction.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, you could still like greatly limit it by like intentionally one-on-one hanging out with the others. And then maybe, doing some other things that you want to explore. I don't even know. Like,
yeah, I want to know what you think of OP's decision. Like, do you think he made the right decision? I think he's being like really considerate, but considerate to the point where he's the asshole to himself. So I think OP is the asshole,
yes,
but he's a self-asshole. He's not taking care of himself.
That's the perfect way to put it, honestly.
He's not not being loving to himself, dude.
Truly.
I just don't think this is the move.
My in-laws touched the thermostat, so I kicked them to the streets. But now my husband is furious with me just because his parents are homeless. Am I the a-hole? Back in March, his parents decided they wanted to come, quote, wait quarantine out, unquote, at our apartment. For starters, they never asked. And his mother called and told me that they were on their way and to prepare our spare bedroom for them. Keeps getting better.
Fucking audacity.
Keeps getting better. Dude. I was already apprehensive about them staying with us because his parents have been extremely rude to me. It tracks. They're overly critical of everything I say and do. They are massive control freaks who feel entitled to always be in charge. So right off the bat, things are miserable. They verbally abuse me daily, tell me what I can and can't do in my own apartment, and overall are just the worst. Out of everything, the air conditioning caused the biggest debacle. Where I live, it has been 85 to 90 degrees almost every day. I normally keep my air on 70, but when they start complaining about the air being on 70, I turned the air up to 75. That's a little much. This is already a little toasty for me, but I was willing to be a little hot to try and keep the peace. But this was not good enough for them.
No, you're joking.
They don't want the air on, period. They want the heat on. The heat!
It's 80, 90 degrees out.
And they turn it on every single opportunity they get. I wake up in the middle of the night, covered in sweat, and I have told them to stop countless times. Yesterday, I finally cracked.
Bro, these people are fucking lizards.
Yeah.
Everyone, put your answers in the comments right now. What is your thermostat at?
Ooh. I put about 10 pieces of duct tape over the thermostat with a note attached. Do not touch the thermostat while I'm at work. 6 p.m., I walk into my apartment and automatically am hit by a hotter and more humid heat than is outside.
Like, you might as well just release mosquitoes at this point, because you're trying to make it like unbearably hot, like the outdoors.
The duct tape and the note have been torn off the thermostat, and they have the heat on 98 freaking degrees. I go into the guest room and say, why could you not follow the simple instruction of do not touch the thermostat? This is my home. I'm tired of you saying rude things to me. I'm tired of you treating me like a child and creating your own rules for my apartment. You either need to be respectful towards me and learn to accept my boundaries, or go back to your own house.
I mean, true.
His mother said, and I disdainfully quote, "You have no right to barge in here without knocking. That was not only an invasion of privacy, but you need to take the attitude out of your tone. I've dealt with much bigger than you before."
Oh my God.
She went on for about 30 minutes and I just tuned her out. When she was done talking, I told her to get out. Now, my boyfriend is angry with me because I couldn't just let them have their way. He wants me to call his mom and apologize, but I don't think I should have to. Dang straight! I may have been rude to her, but it was only because I have spent the past 2 months dealing with her abuse and trying to politely ask her to stop treating me that way. I got tired of politely asking someone to stop treating me like crap in my own home, which I was letting them live in for free. I also got tired of my boyfriend refusing to defend me and allowing her to say and do whatever she wanted. I am trying to understand their perspective, although it just doesn't seem reasonable to me. If Reddit determines I am the a-hole, I will call and apologize. Which begs the question, is OP the a-hole?
OP is not the a-hole.
The husband should apologize to the wife.
I mean, the husband should talk to the parents,
The
right?
husband should talk to the parents. End of story.
And also, like, why would you want to live in a house that is like 1 billion degrees?
It's the dumbest thing ever. My daughter stole from me, so I filled her room with beetles. I made her sleep in my room, and now my ex-wife is furious. Am I the a-hole? I, 36 male, have a pet bird who eats mealworms as part of his diet. My daughter loves animals and constantly tries to steal the worms. It's kind of cute. Despite being told numerous times that she is not allowed to have these worms. I don't like her going into my room, and they're not hers. I've tried to let her be in charge of other animals, such as our cat, and I got her a fish, but she simply is not ready for any kind of responsibility. possibility. Maybe when she reaches her teens. I don't know if I'm liking the vibe of OP so far. I'm going to be honest. In the past, when she's attempted to steal the mealworms, I've been able to stop her before she gets them. Steal, little strong word, but okay.
Yeah.
When I get back from work, I noticed that a pack of mealworms had been left partly open and immediately knew that she had carried out her mealworm heist.
Not the mealworm heist. What is she stealing?
Oh my God.
Like $2?
Now, instead of going into my daughter's room and demanding to know where she had put them, I decided that I'd teach her a lesson about taking things that don't belong to her. Mealworms grow into beetles.
Oh, what? Wait, mealworms grow into beetles?
According to OP. So I thought when her cute little mealworm grew into a nasty bug, she'd finally learn her lesson and the fight would be over. I've had that batch of mealworms for a while and her room is pretty warm, so I guess they grew faster than I thought that they might. She woke me up in the middle of the night in hysterics because there were bugs in her room and she wanted me to get rid of it. So now I explained to her that the reason that there were bugs in her room is because she decided to steal the mealworms from me and they had turned into beetles. I told her that she needed to face the consequences of her actions and that she had two options. She could either get rid of them herself or she could wait until the morning and I'd get them for her. I was not getting up in the middle of the night because she decided to steal. Oh, buddy.
Low key, like, I mean, she is witnessing the full life cycle. That's kind of like a cool realization. But he should have told her.
Yes.
It's kind of like a dick move to not say, hey, these are going to turn into beetles. And she could have been like, I want to see the beetles. I don't care. And then it's like, okay, you'll see. And then like that would have been
Then you got what you asked
video.
for.
Yeah.
She was scared to remove them by herself, so she asked if she could sleep in my room, but we just stopped co-sleeping and I didn't want to get back to old habits.
Dude, the co-sleeping thing, bro. I was talking to this girl at the skate park and she like worked for a mortician, like the people that like analyze dead bodies. And she said one of the dead bodies that came in was like a 4-year-old. And apparently what happened is like the 4-year-old, the parents, and the older kid who was like 13 all slept in the same bed. And the older kid rolled over onto the 2-year-old and smothered the 2-year-old and killed the baby, the toddler.
Oh my God. Jesus.
So now
Christ.
I'm like, I'm never sleeping in the same bed as my kids.
Wow. Jesus Christ. That is terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
Dude, you somehow fucked me up more than these Reddit stories. I don't. That's a hard thing to do. But
bro, don't
damn.
fucking sleep with your kids.
I believe she ended up sleeping in her playroom instead. In the morning, after I removed the beetles, she kept saying things like, "I hate Daddy," and "Daddy's mean," which was hurtful, but kids will be kids.
Well, you kind of were a dick, though.
Bro, you low-key, high-key deserve it. Like,
yeah.
I guess it upset her so much that she decided to call her mom and have her mom pick her up. For some reason, my other daughter decided to go to her mom's house as well. I thought it was a creative way to teach natural consequences, and in the morning, she would laugh about it, but apparently not. Now, both of my kids are gone over some stupid worms. Am I the a-hole or are they overacting? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very good one that I want to get your takes on. I mean, I think that's the question, isn't it, Sam? Like, is OP the a-hole for doing this?
I 100% think OP is the a-hole. Not because, like, the reason that I think so is he intentionally kept the beetle knowledge away from his daughter as a form of punishment for his daughter just being curious about animals. Like, that's so fucked up. Just say, like what he should have done is be like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, these mealworms that you're stealing, putting in your room, they're going to turn into beetles. Are you okay with that? There are better ways to parent.
Yeah, I just, the vibe is bad. I'm just getting a really bad vibe from this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You all tell me what you think. Maybe
how
there's
would
some
you parent your
knowledge.
your insect interested child? Let us know in the comments below. And also for the parents in the room, what has been the weirdest obsession of your kid? We want to know.
Yes. I stole my pervy dad's $300,000 inheritance after he abandoned me. And now his bimbo girlfriend gets nothing. Am I the a-hole?
I love a story where OP just takes all the familial wealth. You know?
I love it.
Like, hey, this was going to be divvy up. No. This is mine.
My 36 female dad was always a mean, bad-tempered, abusive, bullied anyone who would stand for it, which unfortunately included my mom, who was completely submissive by the time my brother and I were old enough to get out of the house. house. Our homes were always open to her. To him, not so much.
Screw that guy.
Then, last year, he surpassed himself after a heart attack.
How dare you have a heart attack? Freaking selfish, Dad.
After a heart attack Mom devotedly nursed him through, he decided he'd never really lived. And he threw my mom out of the house that they owned in joint name. She came to me, and we were glad to have her, and moved in a girl known to the family as Dad's bimbo.
That is quite the reputation.
She never held a job, has no qualifications whatsoever, which is difficult to do in the school all families went to, including ours, and is exactly 1/3 his age.
Hey. Daddy-o knows how to pick him a hot.
I refuse to believe that she was attracted to him. The stereotypical bad-tempered, overweight, red-faced gammon.
Dang.
God, that really paints a picture. Well, sucks to be the bimbo. He had another heart attack last month and died in a state. Under English rules of people who die without a will, the house is the mom's automatically, and the relatively small size of the rest of the estate means that she gets all of that too. And the bimbo, of course, gets nothing.
You didn't get married fast enough.
So we went in, emptied the house of all portable valuables. We replaced Dad's big screen with a small portable one and served her 28 days notice to get out. Now she's blowing up about her rights all over social media and the small rural town that we live in.
What rights?
I want the money.
Just because you bang someone doesn't mean you get their money.
I want it. We don't care. She says that she gave up a government apartment to move in with him, and now she can't get it back. We don't care. She gambled and she lost. She now says that she's pregnant.
No way. I don't believe that for a second.
We don't believe her, and it hasn't stopped her from smoking and drinking. The key to any successful pregnancy.
Yeah. You want that baby to be resilient.
My husband thinks that we ought to find out if she is indeed carrying her half sibling. Well, we don't care. Even if she is, the kid is entitled to exactly 1/3 of what me and my brother are sharing, i.e. bugger all, which means basically nothing.
Right, because the house is included in that.
So, am I the a-hole for ignoring this woman's alleged child? This is England. She won't end up on the streets, but she won't get my mom's house and garden either. Ladies and gentlemen, a bit of a tricky one, a bitter tricky one.
Except it's not. I say this girl doesn't really deserve anything. Just because I hook up with someone doesn't mean they're entitled to my estate.
The question to all of you, to you, Samuel, is OP the a-hole for ignoring this potential child?
Maybe a little. I think it just seems very convenient. I think just be like, okay, you say that's your child, paternity test, and then we'll talk.
I'm going to sue my sister out of existence. She committed the ultimate crime, ruining my poster. Am I the a-hole? My sister brought her kids over 2 weeks ago. In my office, I have a vintage Marvel poster signed by Stan Lee and the artists of the poster.
Oh, wow. That's worth something.
Pretty good, right? This poster is over 30 years old. My sister's son saw this and thought it was really neat and wanted me to give it to him. Sorry, buddy.
Yo, that's expensive.
I tried being diplomatic, but let him know that wouldn't happen. For certain reasons, my office door locks behind me and you need keys to open it. This is important. But fast forward to the next day. We were going to the park and I couldn't find my keys. We were looking around the house and I hear her daughter yell out, and my sister and I go running. Her son opened the office and climbed on the desk to get the poster down. In doing it, he managed to tear it in half.
No.
I was furious. This poster is not only irreplaceable, I got it signed with my now deceased grandfather. It has a lot of sentimental value for me.
Oh man, that sucks.
My sister completely blew this off. Hell, she even started giggling when her daughter said, "Oh no," the second time because she thought that it sounded cute. This isn't cute.
This is war.
She didn't offer me anything, even an apology. Her argument is that I should have had my keys on me because I should have somehow expected that her son would try and take it down from the wall.
Like, why should it be other people's jobs to police your child?
Hello. Dad and wife are firmly in my camp. Dad recognizes how important this was to me because it was only a few days before my grandpa suddenly passed away and was the last thing that we did together. My mom and sister are acting like it's no big deal. My sister ghosted me when I texted her asking about compensating me for the poster. In case anyone was wondering, when we moved into the house, we had the poster appraised at $3,000 due to the condition and rarity of the poster.
Okay, so it's expensive.
I was informed after Stan Lee's passing, it went up, but we didn't have it appraised. This particular one does go on eBay unsigned north of $2,000 now. When I decided to serve her for a lawsuit, my mom called me telling me it was no big deal. And she said that she found another poster on eBay. And when I saw the link, I realized it was completely different, wasn't signed or anything close to my poster. It wasn't even from the same year. Now sister is complaining to mom that I'm being mean for going after her and not taking her offer instead of making her pay for it.
I know I crashed your Bugatti, but will you take this Toyota Camry?
She thinks that I should just let this go because kids will be kids after all. So am I being the a-hole here? Now we do have some quick edits and updates, but Sam, viewers.
I think your sister should pay for what it's worth. Still keep the poster, stitch it together, and then, maybe get some money for it.
Edit. Since this has been raised in a few comments, yes, the poster was framed. It was professionally mounted in a frame. It was not tacked to a wall or anything like that. Update number 1, my mom is now in my corner. We hadn't spoken about this much as I was pretty angry about things. She didn't realize that it was this one particular poster, and she knew how much it meant to me. Right now, she's trying to convince my sister of the seriousness of this. Final update. Well, I thought this would be dramatic, but it really wasn't. We did the court appearance via video conference.
Wow. Okay. So it actually did go to the court.
All the way. Judge was not hearing any of my sister's hemming and hawing about this. I was expecting to get the repair costs. They weren't cheap, that's for sure. I had 2 estimates and she didn't want to pay either. The judge had to tell her straight out, offering to replace something with the appraised value that it had with something that isn't even in the same ballpark is unacceptable. I got the full appraised value as the judge considered it the cost of the replacement. Sister more or less cut the call as fast as she could. I got a call from her husband, again, asking if I wanted a check. Later that night, sister called me and finally apologized for her and her nephew's behavior. I told her I'm okay with it now, but she needs to understand why I'm so angry. She said she finally did when the judge laid it out. I guess this is it for this one.
A judge had to lay that out for you to oh my God.
Not the best outcome, but an outcome. I figure I'll get the poster back from repair early next year. So with the sister now going to pay her back, do we think the sister is the ape-hole?
I mean, I think the sister was always the a-hole for sure. Or the fact that she wouldn't repair the poster after kid destroyed it and just laughed at something that was obviously meaningful to OP. That's a huge move, but I don't think I would go as far as suing my family.
Maybe if you constantly are being hey, I don't want to have to do this. Please don't make me do it. But I do want to just at least replace the value. Could we figure out a plan and not do court or anything? If you say that enough times, then it's not the a-hole move, I think.
Grandma Karen calls the police on me for not helping her at the grocery store. Lady, I don't even work here. Am I the a-hole? So I work for a drink vendor in the USA. I go to stores and stock them with beverages from my company. I do not work for the actual store we're talking about stocking for. This event happened a few months ago while I was stocking a rather small yet local grocery store with drinks. The characters of the story are a 70-year-old woman, me, which will be OP, and the manager are the players of this bizarre event. Let's dive in. I'm working the shelves when I see a 70-ish woman flagging me down. OP, yes, can I help you with something? Old lady. I can't remember exactly what they asked for, but it wasn't a soda, so I had no clue and told her as such. When I said I didn't know where the item was, she huffed at me and said, "Stop being lazy and find it. You don't know where it is. It's your job to know where everything is. You work here."
Everyone's accidentally asked someone who doesn't work there, though. We've all been there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I've 100% done that. My eyes went wide as I was currently listening to Reddit stories. I wished to the heavens it was I don't work here, it was entitled parents, but I realized it was happening to me. I collected myself and replied the famous line, ma'am, I don't work here. I work for... Old lady cuts me off. You do work here. You're stuck in the shelves. Stop being lazy. I'm going to scream that you tried to rape me. Oh my God. And ruin your life.
What the fuck?
That is the reverse Uno you don't want. At this moment, I went into panic mode as I've listened to way too many stories to know that will ruin me, even if it's not true and found out later. I then had a genius idea in the moment. I tapped my earpiece and said out loud, Eric, you hear that? Did you get that? Old lady, who are you talking to in that new fandangled earpiece? OP, my friend, we were recording a podcast when you threatened me. He got that on recording, so I advise you to leave now while you can, or it'll be your life that is ruined.
Wow, that is quick, brilliant thinking.
Old lady, she huffs and leaves. I thought it was the end of it. Nope. She came back with a manager for the store. This is the employee that recorded me without my permission. I want him fired in the police code. OP, did you tell him why I recorded you? Old lady, it doesn't matter. You didn't have my permission. Manager, well, what did you record her saying? OP, lady, do you want to tell him or shall I have him listen to it? Old lady, she sighs. Fine. I said I'd scream if he didn't do his job. It worked on so many other employees. I don't see what's wrong with it. Now call the police and fire him. Hey, at least she's honest, you know?
Yeah.
Manager, she looked horrified at the old woman and I started laughing. OP, you heard her, right? I said to the manager, who confirmed. Then I grinned and said, ma'am, I didn't record you. I was listening to podcasts. Old lady, she got red and without missing a beat, looked at the manager, and I'm not joking, and said the following. He tried to... Call the police! OP, my mouth dropped. My manager has no clue what to say. Luckily, I did. Ma'am, you wouldn't know this, but I've been on hormones for the last 2 years. I don't know how I could R anyone. I haven't been able to get it up in 2 years. Manager ends up laughing her ass off, and the old woman just left and never saw her again. The manager apologized, and I was just laughing my ass off. That worked. If it didn't, who knows where I'd be? Probably locked up with my life ruined because I didn't know where something was. Wild ride.
Wow. I guess the question is OP the a-hole for messing with this elderly woman like that?
No, dude. That woman totally deserves it. But I feel like this brings up a great side question. Give us your old people stories from work. Put your answers in the comments below. We love hearing them. My husband has a secret family. Turns out that's not the worst of it, and I'm thinking about leaving him. Am I the a-hole?
I didn't register any of that. Sorry. No.
Processing. I learned about 7 months after a wedding that he'd actually been engaged to someone else, let's call her Amanda, at the time we met.
What?
He claimed he was worried about hurting her as they had been together since high school.
That's crazy.
However, what hurt me most is that he did not call off their engagement until he proposed to me. We've worked through that issue thanks to therapy, and we continued to still go to therapy.
What?
You worked through that? Is that not a red flag, OP? Early last week, I discovered I was pregnant with our third child. You had 2 other children with this prick. He was out of town, so I thought it would be fun to surprise him with the news at his hotel. Oh man, if you can see where this is going, type I see you in the comments.
I see you.
So I planned on getting a cake with "You're going to be a dad" again. I called the hotel asking how I could go about this and was told they didn't have him staying at the hotel. I assume I had messed up where he was staying, but I know his company would only put him up in that hotel group. I have admittedly overlooked some red flags, no fucking shit, and realized something was going on. I know he's dumb enough to keep all his passwords the same, and I know our passwords for Netflix.
I do that.
While snooping, I found DMs with Amanda that were flirty, and she had been tagging him in stories. I called him up and asked him if there was anything he wanted to tell me. He said, absolutely not. What voice should I do?
Absolutely not.
He said, absolutely not. And I said, are you sure? Because I know you're not staying at X hotel because I was trying to surprise you with something and I couldn't. After now being together, I can pick up on some of his lying tells. I assumed he was coming home to tell me that he and Amanda were seeing each other, but instead he told me that he had been having an affair with a woman we will call Sarah, and Sarah and him have 2 kids together. He was with her and has not been going on as many work trips since COVID started. The kicker is he started seeing Sarah while still engaged to Amanda, and his kids with her are 6 and 1 who will be 4 a week before our 4-year anniversary.
Oh my God.
He and Sarah both claim that they haven't been sexual relations since their youngest was conceived. He was seeing both Sarah and Amanda and I at once in the beginning of a relationship. Oh my God. I'm just baffled. Like, how does he do it? And he has a job.
Probably has like an assistant who
Who manages all the relationships.
You have to go to soccer game at 2 and ballet appointment. All right, and make sure to remember that she just got a haircut. But Sarah doesn't have a haircut. Her hair is the same. Don't tell her that she had his haircut. She won't like it. Okay, bye.
I asked him about his DMs with Amanda, and he said that they had reconnected at his 15-year high school reunion, which I did not go to because I had just given birth 2 nights before. How is your high school reunion more important than your child and the mother of your child? So he did this last year and had been hanging out with old high school friends. I am absolutely devastated and confused. I gave birth to our first son January of 2020, our second son June of 2021, and like I said, I'm currently pregnant with our third. The betrayal goes further with the fact that his mother has been helping him hide this secret from everyone. She has been the best grandmother to my boys and is very active in their life and helps me with cleaning our home and giving me time to do things away from the kids. She knew every time he was going to see Sarah and their kids and never once told me.
Oh my God.
I wonder if she's helping with those kids too. I'm coming to the realization that everything in my world revolves around him. I can't even begin to talk to my friends about this because all of my friends are his friends' wives. I feel like I am this big joke to his friends and family, and I'm not sure how to change that. I don't have a job because I quit to be able to travel with him when we got engaged. I feel like I'm stuck and don't know how to get out. Has anyone left a marriage not knowing where to go or how to survive? What does OP do?
Oh, that's really rough. She definitely needs to leave him, but that's really rough financially.
But before the update, I want to know what you think OP should do. And also, does anyone have any experience with leaving a marriage, especially if you're uncertain with your own financial position? Let us know in the comments. Type your stories. And we're going to get into this update. I officially am a single woman as of today. Congrats, OP.
Yes.
Congrats. You deserve to be single.
Our advice.
I want to thank everyone who commented and those who reached out with their ideas and those who have been in the same situation I was in. I took photos of all the infidelity and lies. One of his friends got me a good divorce lawyer, and my ex knew he was f***ed from the start, so it was speedy, and he gave me half of everything and is paying far more than I expected for child support and is granting me spousal support for a while.
That's great.
But I found things out, and shockingly, his friend group picked me and not him.
Yes.
So she got the friend group too. That was the most surprising thing out of this. These are friends he's had for 20 plus years. They opened up a lot of his behavior, and a few of the wives actually were getting ready to tell me about his flirty encounters with Amanda. But as a mom with 2 kids under 2, they were concerned with my mental health and were going to tell me at the end of the month at a mom's getaway we were having. I didn't have a job when I left, but one of his friends' wives owns a marketing company, which is what my job was before we got married, and told me that when I was ready, she'd have a job ready for me. I started that job back in April and have actually been enjoying it.
Yay.
OP's getting on her feet.
She's finding herself.
I am still pregnant. That was a decision I made on my own. I love being a mom, and my boys are my whole world. I was going back and forth on it, but I truly love our children. It was not an easy decision to come to, but I'll figure it out one day at a time, like I have for the last 6 months. Well, I'm so glad that she left.
Yeah, and she got a job.
She got a job.
Support.
And I think it shows
a friend group.
If you're in a bad situation, it's probably almost always better to leave. I know any kind of change is scary, of course, but I mean, this is a change that needed to happen.
Yeah, she needed to get her kids out of there, and I think it really worked out for her.
Yeah. I sent my son to school in a dress. The school kicked him out, and my wife is pissed. Am I the a-hole?
No. I wouldn't say so.
My son started 2nd grade last week. I get the kids ready for school while my wife sleeps. She's got the graveyard shift and is lazy as fuck. No kidding. So he's got a twin sister. I told them both it was time to get ready for school, and his twin sister pulled out a bunch of dresses out of her closet. My son picked one up and said, I want to wear this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking, whatever, dude, we're running late. Just put on some kind of clothes and let's get out the door. I'm pretty politically neutral. So while I wouldn't say I was particularly happy he wanted to wear a dress, it also wasn't nearly as upsetting to me as the idea that I could be late for work if we didn't get out the door that instant. So it's like, all right, I'd rather make money for my family than argue with this 6-year-old about a dress. I figured, okay, I wouldn't ever tell my daughter not to do something because it was not ladylike. So I shouldn't tell my son not to do something because it isn't manly, which low-key makes sense.
I think so too.
Yeah. I drop him off and get to work. 3 hours later, we get a call to come pick up our son because his outfit is distracting to the other kids and he's being bullied.
That's outrageous. How is it distracting?
He was very sad when my wife got there, and the whole morning had been upsetting for him.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, what the heck?
What the heck? Let that kid slay.
My wife is irate, asking how I couldn't have realized that was inappropriate, and I was setting our son up to fail. Well, to be fair, though, I imagine, I'm just thinking if I wore a skirt to middle school,
Sam got bullied for eating salad.
Yeah. If I'm gonna get bullied for I love how everyone knows the salad boy story
They
already.
do? You've already told this?
Yeah, I've already told the
okay,
salad boy.
okay.
But if I'm gonna get bullied for eating salad, then I'm definitely bullied for wearing a skirt. So is just about everyone else I've run this by. My wife thinks damage has permanently been done because he'll be in the same school system as these kids the rest of his life, and he'll be known as the one who wore a dress. And I was being thoughtless or willfully ignorant because I was in a rush and our son suffered for it. That's actually an interesting take. It's an interesting take. What if he wasn't trying to make a statement by wearing the dress? He just thought that was sick.
But if he continues to wear a dress, then they'll just get used to it. Then he'll just be like,
I ate a salad one time in 4th grade, and to this day, people still know me as Salad Boy.
Okay.
Are you really gonna say? Are you really going to say these kids have short-term memories?
Yes, they'll forget.
Lives with you forever.
But if he keeps wearing the dress, then everyone will get used to it.
But what if he doesn't want that to be part of it? All right, well, put a pin in it. We're going to keep going. All right. This show was sponsored by your sweet, sexy ass.
If you support our Patreon, you'll get one long, hard, extra bonus episode every week.
I'm talking 3 juicy stories right into those ear holes.
You'll get ad-free episodes. I'm talking all of those ads completely off. All natural.
Not to mention, we'll do it together, live, in front of a camera. With Assholes Anonymous, you'll get a chance to talk to us directly and maybe be featured on the YouTube channel.
Wait, Sam, not like that. Like, the fans get to share their stories with us and other fans, and we get to talk about it, right?
And then we'll moon each other at the end.
Oh, God.
So if you want all that ass, support your boys at patreon.com/OKOP show.
That's patreon.com/OKOP show.
At the time, I truly didn't think it was that big of a deal, but that doesn't change that I put my son in harm's way now. I'm not sure whether I made the wrong decision or not, or how to feel about it. Am I the a-hole? Okay, Sophia, question to you. Well, first, I want to put it to y'all. Would you let your son wear a skirt to school if he wanted to? And if he chose the skirt, would you give any preamble where it's like, hey, this is what you're choosing. Usually girls wear this or blah, blah, blah. Would you say anything before? Hopefully those cute little fingers of yours are tippy tapping on those keyboards in the comments below. But Sophia, what do you think? If your son, Sophia has no children.
I have a son.
No, you don't. Something I don't know about.
I have 5 sons.
5 sons.
Yes.
Jeez, God, we've been getting busy.
Uh-huh.
Would you tell your son, one, any context around the choice he's making for his clothings? And 2, would you even let him wear it in the first place? Would you give, what would you say?
I would absolutely let my son, my imaginary son.
Your imaginary son, not the real son.
No, not
one of your 5 sons.
Not one of my 5 sons.
You would, your real 5 sons would never be caught dead in a skirt. The imaginary one. All right.
He can do whatever he wants. No, I would absolutely let my fake son wear any dresses that he wants because that's his own decision. And I think that children are often not allowed to think for themselves. And that is bad. parenting, I think. Also, I think that if you tell them beforehand, I feel like you're kind of influencing their own judgment. And I think that if we don't put our own biases on children, they will grow and learn.
Well, but he's going to get those biases at school.
Yeah, but maybe if those other children weren't given those biases.
Oh, yeah, but we don't.
One bias at a time.
We don't live in this rosy world where everyone's just going to be nice to this kid. Like, if you show up in something different, you are going to get bullied. Sophia would just let the kid be bullied.
No, that's not what I said.
And she thinks the bullying is good.
No,
that is what she said.
That's not what I said.
Anyway, what would you do? I mean, also, for those of you who have kids, like, what have you done? Has your child ever, like, boy or girl, chosen the opposite sex clothing? And what would you say to your children?
Clothing doesn't have gender.
Clothing doesn't have gender, and neither do you, maybe. Who knows? My son is bullying his sister for being vegan, so now he's not allowed to eat meat anymore. Am I the a-hole? All right, well, Sophia, this is a little close home because both of our parents make fun of her for her picky eating habits. So
I'm not picky eating. I just don't eat meat. It's so easy. A pescatarian is one of the easiest.
That's like half of what we eat. So my family and friends are calling me abusive, but I cannot see how any of this is abusive or asshole-ish in any way.
I agree.
You haven't even heard the story. I have 2 kids, 16 male and 14 female. Last year, my daughter decided to go vegan. I didn't have any problem with this one bit. I gave her money that I would spend on food for her anyway. She buys her own food and cooks it herself if what her mom is making isn't vegan, which is more than we can say for little Sophia over here when she is like, I won't eat the pasta with bolognese, but then refuses to make anything for herself. Called out.
That's not true. I cook for myself all the time.
When she's
I
at
live
home.
by myself.
When you do not live by yourself, you have roommates.
I have roommates, but I live not with my parents.
The cooking. I live without an in-house chef. It has been the tiniest change we have ever had to go through. For some reason, though, my son has taken this change as an opportunity to bully his sister.
They'll take any chance they have.
That's what brothers look for.
They bully
Ammunition.
you.
I've made it clear to him that this is not okay at all and has punished him several times for this bullying, but it has never gotten through to him. Last week, this all came to a head when my son took all the food my daughter had bought for the week and hid it, pretending he threw it away on garbage day. Put in the comments what punishment you would give this bully brother. What do you do?
I think I would also probably make him go vegan.
I get a call in the middle of the day at work from my daughter crying, saying that he had thrown all her food away. I had to rush home only to discover it was just a prank. I was livid. I was ready to make him eat nothing but rice for the rest of his time under my roof. Survivor. Rice and coconuts. But my wife calmed me down and came up with a better plan. For the next 30 days, we're going to eat nothing but vegan food. That's a great punishment.
That is a great punishment.
That's a great punishment. We'll have nothing but vegan food and buy nothing but vegan products. I told my son this, and that if he wants anything else, he will be paying for it. And he lost his mind. But for the past 5 days, we have been a vegan family. Well, my son called my parents, and they rang me up furious. They told me I was abusing him. I ended up hanging up on them. The rest of my family followed suit, and some friends have now joined me in saying that this is holish of me. So friends and family are all saying
they need
OP
to mind
is an
their
a-hole.
own business.
My son is miserable, but I really don't care. He brought this upon himself. He still has food to eat and can spend what little pocket money he has to buy meat for the next 25 days if he wants. So am I the a-hole? I want to know what y'all think. Put your answers in the comments below. If any of you vegetarians or vegans are in the comments, what do you want to do with this meat eater? Tell me. But Sophia, what would you do?
I mean, this kid still has food to eat, and it's only for 25 more days.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah, and there's like an end goal. And also I feel like it'll help the whole family empathize with the daughter too.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
like being vegan, it's not as hard as it used to be.
Hard.
Okay, so you think not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole.
Yeah.
He's trying to teach his son a lesson in empathy, and his grandparents should listen.
My dad's girlfriend thinks I'm too fat. She bought me gifts to lose weight, so I did something unspeakable. Am I the a-hole? I want some perspective on this issue that I had the other day. I honestly understand why my dad is mad at me, but I just don't want to put up with this anymore, and some members of the family are siding with them. My dad's girlfriend is a person person who is kind of difficult to be with.
Ooh, we love that.
We love a difficult person, especially dating your
sucks
parents.
for you. Great for Reddit stories.
Now, she is usually very entitled, and she describes herself as honest when she is just mean. And she's usually body shaming us.
I was just being honest. You look fat and ugly.
To add some context, she was a very fat girl, OP's words, who suffered bullying about her weight. This made her change her lifestyle to an extremely healthy one. She goes 6 days a week to the gym and barely eats. She has gone to a ton of nutrition professionals and comes back super mad because apparently they told her that she needs to eat more protein, vegetables, and whatever else. Plus, she kind of hates the fact that she doesn't have a waist like a Kardashian. Like she has a super unrealistic beauty standard.
Dude, even the Kardashians don't have waist like Kardashians. They're editing the out of those booties.
You watching this right now, you're beautiful. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
You're beautiful.
Of course, she has lost a ton of weight, and she is a very beautiful woman even before her weight loss journey. Sadly, her personality has changed a lot. She hates people that are fat or that don't work out or that are comfortable with having a little fat on their bodies. I say hate because she literally hates it. She thinks that all fat people are miserable in their lives and that people that don't go to the gym are unhappy with themselves. To be clear, I am not an athletic person. I do not work out and I don't feel the need to burn every calorie that I eat. So I am not precisely thin. I'm more like a medium girl. And every effing time I come here, she's in my room telling me, "You should have thinner arms so you'd be more attractive.
Jesus, that is so
You should consider a breast reduction and have some fat removed from the butt. I'm just saying." The audacity.
Get a new personality, bro.
I love your waist, but it's purely because of the fat that you have in there. If you lost it, you would be a square.
She's like, yo, your waist looks oink, but if you lost weight, it would look worse.
So I look good. What's the
That's
issue?
basically what she's saying.
This Saturday, I turned 19, and my dad and his girlfriend came to give me my presents early. She got me a dress that was extremely tiny, like an extra small when I'm visibly a large. And she proceeds to tell me, "Happy early birthday. I bought it one size smaller so you can motivate yourself into losing some weight. So no need to have cake today or Saturday, haha. And no exchanges possible so you can have even more motivation."
This person
Bro.
sucks.
I just smiled and thanked her, but I told her I didn't want it.
Yeah, your present.
I felt very pressured by her, and I didn't think she came to me in a friendly type of way. I am happy with my body, and I don't care if I'm fat or thin in her eyes. She was shocked and went to their car to wait for my dad. My dad later called me and told me that I was very ungrateful and that she was just trying to help.
Does the dad not know what this person is saying?
I told him that she wasn't, and she just can't stand people that are not like her. I want to clarify that I don't hate her at all, but she needs to stop body shaming people. It is not normal to be this obsessed with another person's weight, and I'm sorry to be comfortable with having a tummy or wider legs, but that doesn't bother her existence, so she has to leave me alone.
Exactly. Like, mind your own business.
So there is a quick edit. Thanks to all the people telling me that I should work out and eat less. Thank you for your concern about my weight and my existence. If you want more information, I'm a female, 5'7" tall, and weigh 149. If you are smart enough, just search what BMI that is, and you'll see that I'm at a healthy weight. No, I do not live with my dad and his girlfriend. I go there a few days a week. And my mom is siding with me at all costs and being super supportive. Don't bring her into this or question where she is because this is not her fault. And I wanted to say that I'm trying to read everything and all of the revenge ideas are so petty, LMAO, but I'm starting to think that she might have an eating disorder or some kind of problem regarding the weight subject. Any of this revenge might trigger her disorders, and I don't support that. You all are very funny though. So, is OP the a-hole for not accepting her, dad's girlfriend's gifts? For existing. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, OP is definitely not the a-hole. That's like getting someone a gym membership for their birthday. Here's a book on how to improve your IQ because you're dumb as He kicked my puppy in the face, so I'm going to get revenge on what he loves most. His bagpipes. Am I the a-hole?
Burn them bagpipes, you know what I mean?
This happened early this afternoon, and I'm still seething, and I can't sleep.
I brought my 6-month-old puppy to the dog park today, and a man came in dressed in all black and yellow, wearing a kilt and carrying bagpipes. It is unclear if he had a dog with him or not. I never saw one. So he started playing his bagpipe behind a tree inside the dog park. This understandably terrified my pup, who had never seen or heard of such a thing, and she ran up and barked at him. I apologized, grabbed her, and started calming her and explained how she gets scared and will bark with strange new sounds sometimes. And he seemed to understand and wanted to say hi to her. I let her go up to him, but he moved his bagpipes around and scared her again. I kept apologizing and went to grab her again, but her, being an excitable puppy, put one single paw on him, to which he responded by screaming, "Don't jump on me, lassie!" and Bagpipe kicked my puppy with his heel directly in her mouth.
Oh my God.
It sounds like Bagpipe Man curb stomped this puppy. We left the dog park immediately, and this man remained behind the tree in the dog park. Reportedly, from what I was told by another, when he returned to the dog park, antagonizing more dogs after I left. So apparently, this man just comes with bagpipes to make dogs
Why
mad.
the f would you go to a dog park with bagpipes? That is the dumbest idea ever.
He kicked her hard. She didn't yelp, but she was bleeding from her kick. Probably kicked her lip into her tooth. I am so frustrated. I know going into a dog park to be watchful and prepared at all times for any potential fights or whatnot. I'm always ready and on alert. Never more than a few strides away from her at any time just in case. But you don't expect the injuries to come from a human. I'm still seething about it and halfway wondering if I did the right thing by just leaving. I've been in tears because it could have had lasting effects for a dog. I think he just wants to fight with dogs. He has like a vendetta against dogs or something, and it's just like, I'm gonna intimidate all these dogs with my pipe and then kick them when they're coming after me.
Actually, my question to everyone watching, what do you do if someone kicks your pet?
Put your answers in the comments immediately. Our elf on the shelf went rogue and ruined Christmas. This year, someone's getting divorce papers in their stocking.
Oh, that's the worst Christmas gift ever.
Okay, so for context, this year was the first time we would try the elf on the shelf with our kids. We have 3 kids, Lucas, 9 male, Andy, 8 male, and Claire, 5 female, where Lucas and Andy are from our past relationships. However, Miles, my husband, male 37, has accepted Andy as his, and so did I, female 35, with Lucas. Every Christmas is special for Andy. His birthday is on December 24th. His dad started a tradition where Santa would make a consideration with him for being a kid of Christmas. So he feels magical and special. I always try to give him that. Last year, I left Santa Claus footsteps, ate a carrot and grass he left for Rudolph, stuff like that. So it's like they're really trying to preserve the magic of Christmas.
It's cute. It's cute.
My husband doesn't think it's a good idea. I do all that for him, and I'm showing favoritism. So we should shut it down because of my ex's decisions to create a tradition without considering my other kids' feelings. I disagree because I do consider the 3 of them, but he asked if we could do something else like Elf on a Shelf. I had no problem with it, but I didn't know how that works, so he explained it to me quickly, and since he was the one that offered, I let him do it. Well, we bought a cute little elf. My kids named it Bob. Later, my husband explained to them they should behave and never touch or hold Bob if they don't want it to be naughty. Bob.
Oh,
don't
God.
touch Bob. He'll make you so naughty. At first, it was cute to see them spy on Bob, try to see if it would fly each night, and Andy was the most excited of all. I found him one night talking with it, asking if Santa still remembered him.
Aw, that's
what
cute.
a little loser. But my husband took seriously the behave or Bob would be naughty part. Lucas was his first victim after he didn't do his chores. The next day, his face was drawn with Sharpie markers, like Bob drew on his face.
Whoa. Weird. That is too much.
Then Claire, who touched Bob, had her favorite onesie destroyed. Apparently, Bob had cut some pieces of it while she was sleeping. Miles, the husband, was having fun, but I could see my kids weren't. They're being like tortured. I talked to him about how we should lower the pranks. He agreed, but wanted to catch Andy since he hadn't broken any rules. Yeah, I'll stop, babe, but I just want to traumatize one more kid.
I gotta get one more good one off,
Just one more good one. You know what this Christmas is all about. I told him that Bob's supposed to tell Santa instead of being naughty. We argued, but he finally agreed.
fucking crazy that like this is a thing where it's like, I guess the elf is going to stab you or write on your face or steal your shit. Kind of satanic almost. So fast forward, it's Christmas Eve. In the afternoon, we had some of Andy's friends to celebrate his birthday. So the kids were playing in the backyard, but my husband looked sus. I decided to look for Bob. It was supposed to be in the kitchen, but wasn't there. I asked Miles where it was and he told me, no idea. I started getting paranoid, but Andy asked me if he could cut the cake already. I put my best face on and went for it. The cake was in a box, and when Andy opened the box, he starts crying. I take a look and it's ruined. Bob was covered in all of it, appearing as though he had been eating the cake. Half of the cake wasn't even there anymore. Miles starts laughing, and so did some of the other parents. So got a mixed crowd right here. A little, like some people are into it, but birthday boy is not.
In front of everyone, and too, not just like, it's not just the immediate family. Oh, God.
Come on. It's his birthday. My blood is boiling, and I grab Bob and throw it in the trash. So then I grab Miles, and we have a terrible argument. He calls me an asshole for what I did to Bob, that I've ruined it. How are we supposed to keep the magic with our kids if I wasn't supposed to touch Bob?
This is magic?
There is an update. What do you think, John?
Oh, bro, this guy sucks.
After Andy's birthday, I told Miles to get out the house, and so he did. He spent Christmas with my in-laws, so he's not spending Christmas with them. I stayed with the kids, and all of them slept in Andy's room. My kids didn't want to leave his brother alone. The next morning, we opened the gifts, and I made sure that Andy could feel special after what happened on his birthday. So I wrote a note from Bob saying that he is sorry if he scared him and his siblings. He didn't do his job correctly, so now he would be flying to the North Pole with Santa. And when he asked if Santa still remembered the kid of Xmas, he did. Santa was really happy to see him. My kids and I are okay. We are sleeping at my parents' house, and we will celebrate New Year's Eve here too. It sounds like they're like breaking up, the like OP and Miles.
I would like an update to this, honestly.
Yeah, I would like
see what happened when they came back.
I need more context.
Yeah.
My dad is boning my bully's mom. I refuse to become friends with my bully, and now they're calling me homophobic. Am I the a-hole? So, bit of a loaded title, I'll admit. But to give some context, I, 22 male, have an older sister, Sky, 26 female. When I was in high school, our mother, 48 female, cheated on our dad, 48 male, and left us to be with her boyfriend. Yikes. Maybe you should have been better kids. When our dad moved on, he wound up dating Frida, 41 female, the mother of Phil, 22 male, my bully, who never did anything but make fun of me. And if you know words can really effing hurt. I begged him not to be with her. I really, really begged him not to, but he didn't listen. The worst part was having to go with him to their house. My sister is the only one who realized how distraught I was. I mean, at least your dad is dicking down his mom. I think OP just needs to bully the bully right back.
Fight fire with fire.
An eye.
Always
Fight
works.
fire with fire. Always works. Makes the whole world see how much of a dick the bully is. I had to go, and so I left to be with my mother. My dad took that personally and thought I was just trying to spite him moving on. I only stayed with my mother until Sky got her own apartment, and I moved in with her as soon as I could. She never cut off contact with her dad, which is fair because she was a lot closer to him than I was, and she never pushed me to go with him or to our mother. Like high school, life only got worse after I left my dad, and university has been such a gosh darn godsend since everybody here is nice and stuff, which is so true. I feel like university, it's a big enough crowd where people are just like down to be chill to each other. My graduation is coming up in April, and I sent early invites to my dad and to my mother, just finished applying, but not to the families they have now, so just the OGs. Mother accepted, but dad called demanding invites for Frida and Phil. I said no, and he told me that you have to do this to prove that you're not homophobic.
Huh? Wait, excuse me? I'm lost. There's some information we need, I think.
That caught me off guard, but I didn't back down. Yesterday, I talked to my sister about it, and she told me that because Phil's gay, they've been telling everyone that I don't come over and see him because I'm homophobic. She told me that she always sticks up for me and defends me, but she wishes I could reconcile with him since it hurts her because people we know probably think the worst of me. I got pissed off and told her in a really rude way not to bother since I don't care if anybody thinks I'm homophobic. Maybe you should care a little bit. Sounds pretty homophobic to say that, oh, I don't care, because it's one what I believe. She got really sad and told me she'd never stop defending me, and I just huffed, and we didn't really talk for the rest of the day. But I slept on it really bad, and I never should have said that to her since she isn't pushing for me to reconcile, and she's the one who defends me. And I know my tone was really mean, which that's good that you have that, that perspective.
Good self-awareness.
I really feel like a major a-hole, and I never should have hurt her by saying those things. Hence why I'm on Reddit instead of studying for finals. Reddit's the best therapist around. Edit, since people were wondering this, yes, my dad knows I was bullied by Phil, but doesn't think it was real bullying. And my sister has a good relationship with my dad and his new family, new kids and all. She loves him, and I'm not going to try to force her to choose between us. So again, what do you think? Is OP the a-hole?
Well, I'm very curious to hear what everyone thinks on this situation. What you would do if you were in OP's shoes. I feel like it's super lame of the family to use the homophobic card to try to get him over. It's so stupid.
Bro, you could just not like people, I think it's less homophobic to just hate everyone equally.
Exactly. There we go. Equal opportunist hater.
Equal opportunity to be hated.
So the question is OP the a-hole for not reconciling and inviting the additional family members, right? If I had a college graduation, I would only want people that I'm excited to see to be there. I wouldn't want someone to I wouldn't want my high school bully being there just hey, I heard your professor said you were ugly. I agree. Whatever he's got, whatever ammo he's got. But I think that OP's not the a-hole. OP should be able to invite who he wants, but still at the same time, stand your ground, share some receipts on why you don't want to be around the family.
Give context. I feel like OP's not giving any context to the dad.
My husband wants an open marriage, so I agreed. Now he's jealous, but I am never going back to a one-wiener life. Am I the a-hole? I waited until I was 50 to get married because I wanted to be a grown adult person making grown adult decisions within my relationship.
Yes, because you can't do that before 50.
My husband is 11 years younger than me. Uh-oh, got a little cradle robber over here. And he decided that the hormonal changes I was going through during premenopause did not meet with his satisfaction levels. And he suggested that we go to a lifestyle party. And when we get to the party, I have the attention of everyone in the room, male and female alike.
Item just walked in, fresh out the oven, hot cross buns.
My husband, however, has not received the attention from the other females that he was expecting.
Because he ugly.
In addition to his own insecurities about his body, he came to have insecurities about what other men provided for me that he did not.
That long dick.
His stance was that he didn't want to have his wife out having a good time and bringing the sparkle for other men that he doesn't get for himself at home. My response was that me spending time with my connection was to me the equivalent of self-care and going to the salon to get my nails done. Ooh.
That's one way of looking at it. I gotta get my nails done 3 times a day.
That's right.
God forbid I break a nail or a hangnail.
My husband rarely goes to the salon with me to get my nails done, but he benefits from me keeping myself beautiful. He resented that analogy. Going back a few months after we decided to open the marriage up to other connections, my husband began policing my communications and what activity could take place on a date. And there was an understanding that our connections would be acquaintances in a sense. However, he broke the rules by going on a dating app, going out of town, having dinner with this woman, and then staying out till 1 a.m. to do it with this woman without telling me beforehand. That's an interesting. Only people you know. That's a.
I feel like doing it with people
rule.
you know is almost like
worse,
or more difficult.
My solution was to show him how hurt I was, considering how I allowed him to develop the path of my connections, but he didn't offer me the same courtesy. Yeah, I let you bang all of my people, but you didn't let me bang yours.
I like how OP's calling it connections. Is that what LinkedIn's for?
The reason I am unsatisfied with my husband now is because he has shown characteristic flaws that have burdened me, weighed me down, and is keeping me the prisoner inside this marriage.
And he got a lip dick.
Yeah, and his cock is floppy. Prior to his exploration, I was perfectly content in my monogamous marriage. I told him about Pandora's box and how you can never undo every evil that was released when you opened that lid. Yet his ego requires that I belong to him. To be honest, I didn't think my husband even thought I was pretty until he saw that other men were attracted to me, both inside and out. Wow. Analogies left and right in this story, ladies and gentlemen. He feels threatened, and now I'm in prison.
Wow. Really, prison. This doesn't seem like the best relationship. I'm going to go out on a limb here.
It really doesn't. So I would actually love to hear, we've had a few of these open relationship stories. I would love to hear anyone who has dabbled in the realm of open relationship, discussed or not, by choice or not. Please share your stories below.
My jealous daughter destroyed my sister's $15,000 wedding dress. So I'm taking her entire college savings to pay for it. Am I the a-hole?
I love an eye for an eye, or an eye for a body.
I love making the whole world blind. So X31 and I, male 32, had C, female 16, way too young. We're friendly co-parents, but one big rule we share is if our daughter breaks something, she pays for it. Now, sis 27 and I are the only grandkids. Aunt never married. Instead, she worked with grandma and grandpa at the seamstress store and took it over when they retired. Sis's girlfriend, 29, proposed last year. Grandpa offered to make father's sister-in-law a custom suit, which she was over the moon about. Grandma had me ask Sis what her dream dress was and recorded the conversation. Sis, thinking it was just between us, told me in great deal what her dream dress was, though she said it was too expensive, so she would get something much cheaper. Well, a few months later, Grandma surprised Sis with her dream wedding dress. It fit perfectly and everybody cried.
That's adorable.
So cute.
I love
that's
that.
That's so cute. Sadly, Grandma recently passed away, which hit us all hard. Sis was devastated, but decided that the dress meant that Grandma would still be there with us at the wedding. The issue comes in with C. She's very large, much larger than Sis. 3 days ago, we decided to go visit Sis and see how she was doing. It was great. But then C asked if she could try on the dress. Sis politely said no, because C is much larger than Sis. C made a face, but dropped it. Later, we decided to go grab dinner. Sis and I went to pick up our orders, but C decided to stay and play with Sis's dog. But I see you in the comments if you know where this is going. We got back and the dress was destroyed. C had apparently tried to get it on, popping some seams and got stuck. But instead of waiting for help, oh my God.
Oh no. Don't say it. Don't say it, Sam.
But instead of waiting for help, she cut her way out. The dress was hacked to bits. What kind of idiot cuts their way out of a dress? Sis was devastated and asked us to leave. I grounded C and called Aunt with some pictures asking if it could be saved. Oh my God. She said there was no way. She said she'd make a new one, but it wasn't the same. Then she dropped the bomb on me. Grandma had sewed most of the dress using expensive fabric and put almost 500 hours into making that dress. Since it was the only family wedding we'd have, in total, the dress cost $12,000, give or take.
Just to make it. Whoa.
C has about $15,000 saved from various jobs, as well as winning writing competitions. This was supposed to help her in college. I took her to the bank and set in motion transferring all of the funds, since as her parent, I still have control over it. $12,000 to Aunt to pay for the new dress, $3,000 to my sister's wedding as an emotional distress tax. Damn. Well, there's still more to the story, but
okay.
What do you think so far?
Oh, dude, my heart is palpitating. I mean, it's just so tough because it's like, yeah, like definitely the sister is owed retribution, but it's just so tough to see, you know, the savings and workings of a 16-year-old just like go
be
to
taken
waste.
away, especially like that was going to be used for college.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
So I explained exactly why this was happening to C, but she sobbed the entire time, asking what she was supposed to do for college and saying it wasn't her fault, which it's gotta be her fault.
Kinda was.
I told her she could get a job if she didn't get a scholarship, and it was her fault for trying on a dress after she'd been told no, and for not waiting until we got back. A few pop seams could have been fixed, but hacking the dress to pieces couldn't. What fucking idiot decides to cut the dress off? So dumb.
Why would you try it on in the first place, too? Like, man.
I know. Just dumb decision after dumb decision. C told my ex, and while she agreed C was in the wrong after the full story, said I shouldn't have ruined her future for a quote unquote free dress. I reminded her of our rule, and she still thinks I'm wrong. So, am I the a-hole here? There are a couple edits, so I want to get those too. But another quick gut check: is OP the a-hole so far?
Oh man. I'll say if I have to say it. I think so. But you know what? We'll give the edits and we'll dissect. We'll see. Let's see what more we got.
So to clarify, the money was C's have fun at college money, not her college fund. My ex and I are paying for whatever scholarships don't. When she was asking what she would do for college, she was asking what she'd do for fun and to buy things we didn't pay for. Another edit. So I got off the phone with my ex about 20 minutes ago. At some of your suggestions, I sent her pictures and she freaked. She apparently didn't believe me when I said it had been hacked apart and believed it was just a few torn seams. She was pretty much on my side after. She told me that she spent the day badgering her daughter, asking her why she did what she did. And finally, C cracked and said that she was mad that grandma wasn't alive to make her a dress, and it was unfair my sister got a free beautiful dress as a reminder when my daughter got nothing despite many things she was given after the funeral. She tried it on, took it off, and when the seams popped, in anger, she hacked it apart. If she couldn't have a dress from grandma, no one could. Her own words. Honestly, knowing she did it on purpose has just made things worse. The fact that she could be so cruel, that's not the daughter we tried to raise. She will be going to therapy, whether that's in person when local therapists start taking new clients or on one of the apps that people have mentioned. We need to talk about it more. Her punishment stands as is, though we're going to try to see how therapy goes.
Is that the end?
That's the end.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Is OP the a-hole? I want to hear your guys' like wedding dress stories and everything. So put like your wedding horror stories, especially as it relates to the dress, in the comments below. But I want to pass it off to you guys. Is OP the a-hole? What do you think, John?
Knowing that, you know, the kid will have basically her college is covered, essentially. She doesn't have to worry about like that, like basically being able to afford college, it seems. It was money for fun, and that she intentionally cut it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That now I'm feeling that OP is not the a-hole, and I'm going back over the line. I mean, I
think C needs to learn that this is fucked up behavior and there are consequences.
Yeah. And for me, I'm thinking like I don't know if I've shared this actually with you or the podcast, but one of my many money making schemes and endeavors is I would buy cars at police auctions right after I moved to California for college. So I was using my like life savings to buy these cars to try to like, you know, make a buck, which completely failed. I lost everything. I basically spent as much fixing the car as I did buying the car itself. And then I sold it for as much as I bought it for. And then one of the cars almost broke on the interstate and like, you know, would have gotten all of us wiped off the earth if you catch my drift. So didn't end up well.
So not only did you lose money, that business almost killed you.
Correct. But suffice to say, you know, my like thinking about it from my own perspective, I'm like, oh, I couldn't have like pursued that and like, you know, gone for that if that money had been taken away. But that's not the situation. My situation is not this situation. This situation, OP needs to learn. And yeah, the a-hole, not the a-hole. But we want to hear more of your comments and stories from your own personal lives. So share your wedding dress stories below. We might just read it on the next one.
See you soon.
Police think I unalived a stranger. They showed me a video of my wife wife cheating with the victim. I want to run away. Am I the a-hole?
That's a slate of terrible things to happen. I feel like this comedy podcast just turned into a true crime podcast, and we're going to get to the bottom of this case.
I've been married to my wife for 12 years. We have an amazing 11-year-old son, and until last night, I thought we had a good marriage. We all think things, OP.
Oh, man.
I thought I was always really good to her. We have no money problems, no intimacy problems, and I've never taken her for granted. I honestly wake up every morning and thank God she is my wife. Now, I don't know what to think. I got a call from my local police department as I was getting off work yesterday. They asked if I could come to the police station as soon as possible. I panicked. I asked if something had happened to my wife or my son, but they said not to worry, just to get to the station ASAP. When I got there, they put me in a room with a table and some chairs.
They're interrogating you.
Not a good sign, my guy. They asked me my name, which I gave. Then they started asking all these questions about a guy that my wife works with.
Oh, no, not the coworker.
The two officers kept asking me things like, how long have you known? And how did you find out? The only answer I could give was, what are you talking about? After about an hour of this, I just stopped answering their questions and kept asking where my son and wife were and were they safe. We kept going around and around until after about 2 hours on and off, because they would periodically leave the room for 15 to 20 minutes, then come back to start it all over again like some cheap cop show. The last time they came in, the cop handed me a tablet and showed me a video of my wife and the guy from her work hooking up together.
Why?
Oh my God, this poor guy. I don't remember much right after that. I had a full-blown panic attack right there in the middle of the police station. The police had a paramedic check me out, and he said that my blood pressure was something like 710 over 110. Super, super high.
And they're like, why are you so nervous? What are you trying to hide?
It's like, I don't know, you literally just blew up my life. He wanted me to go to the hospital, but I refused. And I said that I needed to find my wife and son. After I calmed down, the officers explained that the guy in the video has been having an affair with my wife and apparently several other women. He had been found that morning barely alive, and it was clear someone had done this to him.
John was just telling me what actually happened to him off camera. It's really, really bad. We can't even share it.
He was still alive, but in critical condition, and they didn't know if he was going to make it. His wife had given them permission to go through his phone and computer, and that's where they found the video of my wife. They asked me where I was that morning, and I told them I was at the gym, then work about 10 minutes from my gym. And at that point, they said I could go, but that I might not want to stay at my house because they didn't know if his affair with my wife could be why he was attacked. They also said that my wife wasn't the only person he was having an affair with. That is when I rushed home.
Oh my God.
My son was staying with our neighbors, so I got him and went home. We packed some clothes and his laptop for school. I grabbed my shooting device and we headed to my parents' house 45 minutes away. I still haven't heard from my wife. Her phone is going straight to voicemail. I've called the officer who gave me his card and he said that she is at the hospital with the guy she was cheating with. I'm sitting here in bed with my son on one side of me and my 38 on the other. My dad is sleeping in his chair in the living room with his shotgun on his lap, and I haven't slept in over 30 hours. I don't even know where to start. Anything would be helpful right now. Any advice, ideas? I am in a complete fog. Well, there is an update. I don't even know what to say to this one. It's the most unimaginable scenario you could end up in.
I would leave with the kid get out of town for a little bit till things cool off, just so maybe you're safe. I mean, who knows? It doesn't necessarily seem like he's at risk, though.
After I woke up that afternoon, I contacted my uncle's law partner, who is a family friend. He actually came to my parents' house and sat down with me to go over my options. His entire law firm is now representing me, both in the divorce and criminal defense. That day, Sunday, he got me an emergency custody order and a protective order against my wife for me, my son, and my parents. Our court date is in 60 days, and the police served her on Monday as she was leaving the psych hospital. According to her brother, who is a close personal
friend of mine, she did not take it well. Yeah, the wife is giving me like very, 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 very bad vibes. My wife is not the person I thought she was, and I'm ashamed of myself for not seeing it sooner. I had to tell my son something. So I decided to tell him the truth, age appropriate, and literally the first words out of his mouth were, "Please don't let mommy take me away." I asked why he would say that, and from what he tells me, my wife has been treating him very badly when I wasn't around, and told him that if he told me, she would take him away and my son would never see me again. Yeah, this wife is
Oh my
a monster.
God.
She has been emotionally torturing our son, and I was too blind to see it. That wrecked me more than the video, to be honest. I told the lawyer about what my son said, and he used my son's statement and her mental health state and commitment to get the emergency custody. I have contacted his school for therapy resources, and he will start therapy after the first of the year. I feel like the worst father to ever walk the face of the earth at this point. My lawyers have been doing some amazing work so far. They found out that the man my wife was sleeping with has a long criminal record. One of the lawyers informed me that when they went to print out the guy's arrest record, that the printer ran for 5 minutes straight.
What?
That's got to be what, like 100 pages of like your criminal record? From what they could learn, he is currently on parole for drug offenses and has had gang affiliations in the past. He is still alive, but in critical condition and still might not make it. I have nothing to say for her, and I don't want to hear anything she has to say to me. Her lawyer requested a preliminary hearing for our court-appointed mediation. Long story short, everything they asked for was ridiculous. They wanted visitation during the divorce proceedings and shared custody afterwards. They want us to drop the orders of protection. She wants to cohabitate until the divorce is finalized. I'm not joking. After all of this, she wants to live in the same house. It was so insulting that my head just throbbed throughout the whole meeting. But it was all worth it for the big reveal we gave to her lawyer. Her lawyer asked how we should handle discovery for the division of assets, to which my lawyer got this shocked look on his face and said, "What division of assets? Read the prenup." The look on her lawyer's face was priceless. She hadn't told her lawyer about the prenup. But the last thing her lawyer asked for was what really messed with me. He asked that we postpone the official mediation for 6 months while my soon-to-be ex attends an inpatient rehabilitation facility for substance abuse. Some people in both my last posts stated that she might have a substance abuse issue, but I didn't even think about it because I couldn't even fathom that. But she did explain that after a major surgery she had about 2 years ago, she started abusing her medications. After a while, she started buying them from some of the people she was working with, including the guy she was sleeping with. He became her go-to guy, and when she ran out of money, she started sleeping with him to make up for the difference. She said that she hid this from me because she was afraid that I might make her stop and she couldn't feel right without them anymore. That he meant nothing to her but a fix, and she hates herself for doing what she's done to both herself and to us.
I mean, the fact that she was there at the hospital shows that she is emotionally attached.
Now she says she understands how awful it is what she's done and wants to get better for our family, and asks me to at least give her some time to prove that she wants this. Let me state for the record, I will never get back with my wife. Our marriage was over the moment she cheated on me and abused our son.
Thank God.
But dang, where the F was I while all of this was going on? I just feel like the most naive, obtuse idiot to ever walk the earth. And furthermore, how should I approach this from here? Am I just throwing her away, or am I still justified in feeling betrayed? I feel like such a failure as a husband and a father right now. I mean, I feel nothing for her but anger and resentment. But is this how you treat someone fighting the demons that she's fighting with? I'm just lost and feel so hopeless again. Wow. This is one of the harder ones that we've read in recent memories. I'd be very curious, especially anyone watching that is maybe a mental health professional, crisis disaster person, social worker, anyone in those arenas. I mean, I feel like those would be the best sources of, advising and
she needs to go on this journey herself. Like, she can't expose the husband to this. She can't expose her kid to that. And while that's happening, I don't think OP or the kid should be around her.
This girl pretended to date me to get into her dream college. I'm going to tell the admissions board to get her banned. Am I the a-hole? So, this issue is honestly making me frustrated. Almost everyone is saying that I'm in the wrong. People are talking behind my back, and I genuinely don't know if what I did was correct or not.
That's why you should come to us, because we'll set you straight.
I am 17. I suffered a major accident while cycling when I was 13. I have 2 really deep, long facial scars. I've been bullied really bad because of it. I am tall, ugly, and intimidating as per most girls. OP, you're beautiful. People use me as a way to make fun of other people by saying things like, why don't you just hook up with OP? I'm honestly used to it. God.
I'm crying, bro.
Those people didn't matter to me anyway. But there is a girl I had known since middle school. Let's call her Back, I guess. Hey, Back. Sorry, I honestly don't know how this works. It's
We can
okay.
tell.
I had a really, really big crush on her till a few days ago. I thought she was genuinely sweet and amazing. My family is incredibly supportive, so they urged me to ask her out. I can play a guitar, so I made this whole song for her.
The Rizzler is coming to town.
I went to the neighboring city to get her favorite chocolate and stuff like that. This was the first time I really felt like going and asking someone out in my life.
Oh, no. Okay.
And I felt that regardless of what I do, she shall see me for who I am and at least accept me as a friend.
Oh,
I don't like where this is going.
neither do I, John.
I was over the moon when she ended up accepting.
Oh, so she said yes to him
She
asking
said
her
yes.
out.
We went to a fancy restaurant and had a fun time together and walked for over 30 minutes afterwards. She was really sweet to me. The next week or so was honestly heaven. People started noticing me. Even her friends seemed friendly with me. I almost cried every day because I felt so fortunate to get so much love. Oh God. Whew. OP, you're hitting me. You're hitting me. Where it hurts. It all broke down when a friend of hers who was on Instagram and followed, okay, I guess her name is Beck, not Back. And followed Beck, sent screenshots to me. And I honestly felt disgusted and betrayed.
What was on the screenshots?
She had posts saying, fulfilling his lifelong wish by being his Valentine's and making his day by finally helping him interact with my friends. Oh, he is ugly, but beautiful people accept ugly people. Hashtag ugly people matter, etc. God, what weird twisted sarcasm is this? God.
I honestly feel like her heart's in the right place almost.
Beck's friend then explained to me that she had apparently wanted a good social media image.
Oh, never mind.
And had thus asked all her friends to be kind to me and tolerate me in the first week of March and then distance themselves from me.
Fucked.
She apparently wanted to win some stupid positive role model award for her college application because she was lagging behind in community service. Okay, I'm sorry, but like, what college is like, wow, the person you dated was so ugly and vile, we just have to award you
40 hours of community service. Thank you for what you're doing for ugly people everywhere. Your community service is valid and needed.
And thought that playing with my feelings for a few days wouldn't hurt, and apparently since I was ugly, she was the kind one to give me attention anyway.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
I was in tears and honestly felt disgusted. My blood was boiling. I researched about this award and found a Facebook page about it online. I went to the authorities to confirm if her name was on the nomination list. The authorities of the award, not the not the law.
Police, insisting on getting this award.
And then had my friends at work and my family as an alibi. She's apparently crying a lot now because she received a message from the committee saying her nomination was withdrawn.
Bam!
That's what you get.
Back.
That's what you get. Oh, yeah. Guess who's back now?
Hey, yo.
Watch your back. I am now even more ostracized in school, but honestly, I feel no remorse whatsoever and feel far more satisfied.
Well, at least OP, you feel good, and this terrible girl got what's coming to her.
At least, and you know what? I'm happy that OP feels, a little bit of redemption. That's a big thing here.
Weird thing, like such a virtue signaling, like, I don't know, performative stunt. Fucking terrible.
Oh, just disgusting. My grandparents are trying to steal my hotel suite on my honeymoon. I want to kick them to the streets. Am I the a-hole?
Where's OP supposed to bone?
My family is Asian. My husband's side is white. My husband and I got married and are treating his side of the family and my side to a 1-week all-expense paid vacation to Bora Bora as a pre-family honeymoon before us going off on our real honeymoon.
Holy shit. That is a nice familial gift. Goddamn.
The bungalows are a 1,000 square foot, 1-bedroom option of either 1 king bed or 2 queens, 1 bathroom, and an outdoor space type of deal. We made sure everyone was accommodated for and everyone had a comfortable living situation. Our villa is a 4,000 square foot, 1-bedroom, 1 bath, including a sauna, a living room, a grand outdoor space with an outdoor bathtub, pool, and slide into the freaking ocean.
How rich are these people? Holy shit.
Bro.
Into the ocean?
To the ocean? What? We have not even made it a whole 24 hours here yet, and a fight has already broken out. During dinner, my cousin mentioned wanting to come over and use our slide. My grandparents asked what we were talking about, and then they asked to see some pictures of the room. Well, they saw my villa and demanded that we trade rooms with them, as no elders should be made to slave and live as peasants while their grandchildren get a nicer room. This is Bora Bora we're talking about here. No one is living as a peasant. Correct. There was only 1 villa available in our section. Had I given it to my grandparents, I think it would have been offensive to my husband's grandparents. If there was 3, we would have given it to both grandparents and 1 for ourselves. But unfortunately, there wasn't. I mentioned this and they still demanded our villa.
That's crazy.
I obviously objected and said I felt as though my husband and I should have that room, as this is a vacation with family to celebrate our marriage, plus we paid for the entire trip. Wouldn't one just sit back and be grateful they're on a free vacation instead of complaining? No.
Obviously not.
My grandparents freaked out, saying I'm holding money above their head and that I'm being disrespectful and not following their orders. They stormed off after threatening to take the first flight out tomorrow morning and leaving.
Do it.
Do it, please. I beg you. I don't know what to do. My side of the family is telling me to just give them the room to be respectful and bring peace to the family, while my husband's side thinks my grandparents are bat crazy, and I agree. They are so ridiculous. All I wanted was for both sides of the family to get together and get to know each other, and now it's falling apart. I don't think I'm the a-hole at all, but I've been up all night thinking about whether I should just squash it and invite my grandparents to stay in my villa in order for them to not leave. But another part of me just wants to tell them to go F themselves for making my honeymoon about themselves, just like they do with everything else. So Reddit, what do I do? Would I be the a-hole if I denied giving up my villa? There is an update, but Sam, I think you've got some, I can see it. Unleash.
So, okay. Yeah. So like, I don't think OP is the a-hole if they were like, no, I'm not going to do that because it is their wedding. Again, I feel like if it's your wedding and you are paying for it, you are in every right to do whatever you want with it.
Let me throw one more little curveball at you. It seems like OP saying that her grandparents are always like this. So imagine you have like these like very like selfish grandparents versus the actual grandparents you have.
I would probably be pissed. Maybe I would be like, nah, just nah. Let's hear the update. What did OP do?
Even though I really wanted to be petty and tell them to F off, I decided it'd be better to kill them with kindness so they have little to work with if they decide to spin it around that I was being disrespectful. During breakfast, my grandparents refused to show up if I was there. Real mature for grandparents. Everyone tried calling them. Nope, we're not coming because disrespectful granddaughter is there. After a lot of persuading and even having to send our baby cousin to their room to soften them up, they finally decided to come. I made the first conversation by asking if they looked up any flights to leave yet. They could forward the pay stub to my cell. They said they hadn't looked yet and that should be my job if I was kicking them out.
my God, the entitlement is crazy.
I made sure they knew I was not kicking them out, but understood if they wanted to leave their room and offered to send some staff to their room to pick up their belongings so they could have a little more time to explore or get their complimentary in-room massage that comes with all the bungalows. They stopped eating and looked at each other in shock. Every time they threatened to not go anywhere, my family has always babied them and begged them not to leave and offered money or extravagant gifts to get them to stay. Well, I'm not doing that. I'll pay for their flight back home, but I've already done enough accommodating on my honeymoon vacation. So there you have it. My grandparents weren't even planning to go home. They tried scaring me into begging them to stay, and I called their bluff. Ooh, love
Let's go,
that.
OP. I'm glad that you didn't take it. That sounds like you've been taking it a long time.
After breakfast, I found a flight leaving around 5 p.m. and walked to the main desk and asked them to cancel reservations for that room and for the rest of the trip and to send the staff to help pack.
Nice.
They also didn't get their complimentary massage because the resort only offers that on 4-night stays or longer. The staff came to help pack and they left half an hour ago. I'm currently in my villa de-stressing before dinner, and some uncles came in who were married into the family and confided in me that they were sick and tired of the entitlement my grandparents have had since day one, and they're glad someone born into the family decided to speak up. My cousins came over and honestly couldn't care less my grandparents are gone. In their words, they kill the vibe. I agree.
That's kind of what we were saying. It's like, if it might be better for them to just leave if they're going to kill the vibe the whole trip. So now maybe you just have a better honeymoon trip.
So everyone's happy right now and is using my slide before cleaning up for dinner. Love it. I'm happy I was able to stand up to my grandparents without being blatantly disrespectful. I have an overflow of messages and comments that I can't get back to. However, the main question is what my profession is. I did not go the usual Asian route. I actually dropped out of my last year at college and started a fashion line that took a couple of years to take off, but surprisingly skyrocketed a few years ago. My dad is also an entrepreneur. I look up to him and I'm so glad I had him as an inspiration who paved the way. Don't give up on your dreams.
That's kind of sick. Wow. What a turnaround. I'm really glad OP didn't give into the grandparents' terribleness. I totally would have understand if he tried to accommodate them, if he really wanted them there. But if you don't want them there and they kill the vibe, good riddance,
Get him out of here, get him out of here.
We love when you tell us stories, both small and large. And so if you want us to read your story, make sure to publicly subscribe, comment, and we just might read it.
Love you.